When my son was around 4 or 5 years old, something happened that has never left me. It was an experience I've struggled to categorize for nearly 2 decades. I've never fully understood it, and maybe I never will. But I remember every detail with vivid clarity. At the time, we were living in southern Ohio. My son, who has severe autism, often slept in bed with me. One night, I was jolted awake by the sound of him crying and swatting at something. I opened my eyes to see a figure leaning over the side of our bed, directly over him. It wasn't like anything I'd ever seen. It was the blackest black I have ever seen in my life. So dark it seemed to absorb light, and yet its facial features were clearly distinguishable. It had an oval-shaped face with almond-shaped eyes that were silver, not white, not glowing, just a soft metallic silver with dark pupils. It had a nose, a mouth, and a humanoid shape, but I immediately sensed it was not human. It wore black clothing that didn't stand out, simple, featureless, but still very black. Most striking of all was what it wore on its head. Something that looked like a crown or pointed hat, shaped similarly to the way Lisa Simpson's hair is drawn. Sharp, evenly spaced points, part of its form rather than a separate accessory. Despite its terrifying appearance, I wasn't afraid. I reached out to touch it. It looked me directly in the eyes and then slowly faded away, vanishing into nothing. That was the first time. The second time came not long after. My husband and I were separating during the first encounter, and by the second, he had already left. The home environment had shifted from tense to calm. I had just put my son down for a nap in the middle of the day. I walked into the hallway to turn off the light, and there it was again. This time, it was sitting on the floor with its back against the wall, holding its long, thin legs close to its body. It was tall, unnaturally slender, and had very long limbs. Its clothing was again black and unremarkable, but its face and those silver eyes were unmistakable. It stared, not at me, but at my sleeping son. I looked at it and said, "You again? You know I can see you." It looked up at me, never speaking. I continued, "I don't know what you are, but you're scaring my son. You need to leave." I walked toward it and reached out my hand. Just like before, it slowly faded away. My son, now 18, has no memory of this. Given the nature of his autism, it's possible he never fully registered the events. But for me, it's etched into memory. We haven't seen it since moving from that house. To this day, I don't know what it was. It wasn't a shadow person. The details were too clear. It wasn't sleep paralysis. I was fully awake, standing or sitting each time. It didn't feel human.